We are live. Let's get it. What's up, everybody? What's up? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. What is going on? How is everybody? Hold on, let me make sure I didn't. Okay, good. I didn't make a mistake. I thought I put it under the coach my favorite. I was like, yikes, this is gonna hurt. No, but welcome everybody. We're here. It's a member spotlight. Go through. I don't know if you live under a rock. We have UnleashU now. We have a mastermind. It's pretty dope. Some of the most amazing leaders, movement leaders, thought provokers, hustle people that are trying to impact the world and make it better in there. And one of them is this gentleman sitting with me, and his name is Spencer Jones. If you didn't know that from the tag under him, I would throw a clue in there. His name is visible at all times. Just if you look deep enough, you will find them. So say what's up. Same thing applies those. If you're watching, if you comment, you will get in the running for free lunch this Friday. So if you comment in the comment section, you will get your opportunity to win free lunch this Friday on UnleashU Now. But before I butcher any more about how amazing this soul is sitting here, no longer is he an amazing man. He's also one of the best people I know, and quickly turning into a brother of mine from a different Mr. and Mrs. I was gonna be like different mama, and I'm like, well, both. And this dude is like literally, first of all, he's the only person to ever make me run on sand with cinder blocks, but also to find someone that will be really true and real to who they are in this time, in this day of age, is hard, and he has proven he is that person. So without further ado, Spencer Jones, let everybody know who you are, what you do, and what you're about.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you, and I'm pumped, freaking pumped to be here with you to talk about being alive, focused, energized, and living our life to the max. Really excited for it. And brother, you are a brother from another mother, and Mr. and however all that works, because you are blood, right? We have our blood family, and that's the one that we just have. Then we have our love family, the people we choose to have in our life. And it has been such an honor to have you in my life and in my wife's, Katie's life. You have changed our lives in so many beautiful and positive ways. There's no other brother I would want to have in my life. So I'm here with you for life. You're stuck with me. Let's go. Let's impact and let's change lives. And that's what we do, right? We help people master their energy sovereignty. We help people feel alive, focused, energized, and just own who they are, because guess what? You're freaking worthy of it. Yeah, you're worthy of feeling alive, focused, energized. I could just go all on, but I suppose I should throw it back to Michael so he can actually ask questions or something. Or I'll just answer them without even trying to, just by me blabbering on. So, Michael, thank you so much for having me here. I'm pumped to be here to hopefully share some light, some love, some energy with the UnleashU Now family and our Energizer family and everyone else who is here. Guess what? You're already part of our families just by being here. So thank you.
Right. I got to give a big ups to one, Mary, Jordan Wood, and Allegra Havana Pacheco. They're actually off stage here. They're actually backstage of the thing. Mastermind members can come backstage. They can ask questions through the chat and be part of it this way. They're here in viewing. I wanted to give them and show them some love. I also want to show some love to Michael Martin Hummel, Javier Santana. I hope you heard what he said, Javi. And then Jennifer, Gerald, what up? Michelle Albers, what up? Raquel, what up? Everybody say hello. A lot of lightning bolts, a lot of hearts. Jose Escobar, what's going on, family? You are watching a member spotlight of our mastermind. This is being broadcasted right now on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Right? So we're excited, and I want them to get to see and hear who you are and what you're about, man. Right? Because I feel like we're blessed or lucky to be able to know you and have you pour into us all the time. For different events you're at that we do and you throw, right? And I'm sure people will hear more about those. And just all the time that we get to pour into you. And I know how bad people need that, right? That thing that to get focused, to get energized, to feel truly alive, to live life to the max. Like, what a claim, man, right? People, Jose's going crazy in the thing. He's saying Prince of Positivity, Flames, Javi's doing touchdowns. I thought he was doing the U, right? You remember we used to do that at all our events. That was embarrassing. Some ideas aren't the best ideas, you know what I mean? But dude, so you work a lot with positivity, a lot with mindset, a lot with energy, right? Tell people like what you do and why is it important, when she's there.
Yeah. Thank you for asking. Before I answer that, I have the Facebook feed off to my left here, so I'm seeing all the freaking lightning bolts of blue and green. Thank you very much. Right, blue and green represent Unleash You Now. The lightning bolts, energizers, they're crushing it, loving it. Thank you, Prince of Positivity. So thank you. Yeah. So what do we do? Well, as the title says, Secrets of Feeling Alive, Focused, Energized. That's what we do. We get the distinct pleasure to help you and others feel alive, focused, energized, to get the breath of fresh air that you are worthy of. Because we're, especially as entrepreneurs, as parents, as human beings in the society of go, 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 it's like we're under this constant stress to always look at the next thing and always keep pushing, always grind and grind and grind. And we see people burn out all the time. They're burning the candle at both ends. They're feeling depleted. They're feeling drained, exhausted, tired. They start feeling lost, not sure which way to go, and at times feel hopeless because it seems like everything's working against them, all because of this constant grinding that we're doing. So we help people pause for a moment, get that breath of fresh air. Oh my, how energizing is that when you get that breath of fresh air, right? After carrying cinder blocks, as Michael said earlier, right? Carrying cinder blocks through the sand, he's huffing and puffing. He gets his head out of the sand there and breathes that fresh air. It's freaking energizing. And we help you feel alive, focused, energized so that you can be at your best for yourself. So you could shine your light. So you could be there for your family at your best, your spouse, your significant other, your kids, and have the best version of you. And with that, you're going to serve your people the best way possible. So it's just freaking awesome that we get to be a catalyst to help guide people on that journey from feeling exhausted and drained and lost, hopeless, to feeling alive, focused, and energized. And why do we do this? Why am I so freaking passionate about it? As you can hopefully hear my voice, I'm just pumped up, is because I was there. I was the person who was struggling, a person who felt lost, a person who, well, frankly, didn't feel worthy to be who I am, to shine my light. And I like to think it's like we all have this energy and we want to master our energy sovereignty. Well, that energy is that light inside of us and the energy flow coming in and out. And I was letting the world dictate what was coming in and what was going out. And I felt worthless. I felt weak. I felt not cared about, that I didn't matter, that I had to prove myself constantly. And then honestly, it felt like utter crap. Right. I'm trying to not swear, but if you know me enough, you know I'm going to swear. Michael's probably going to soon enough. Then we'll just let loose and have some fun. But I felt horrible. I felt down in the dumps and didn't know a way out until I started to do personal growth. Until I started to look inward, start to work on me and learn and develop the tools that now we get to share and help with other people so they don't get as low as I did. So they don't, or if they do drop down there, we can carry them and help them get through it faster so that they can feel alive. They can feel focused, energized. They can feel worthy, and that they can know in their heart of hearts that they are worthy just the way they are, that they are enough just the way they are. Yes. To get to that next level, to get to where you want to go, you're capable of learning. You have to learn, you have to do the work, you have to do new things to get to that next level. But you are worthy of it. You are enough to do it, and you're capable. So let's freaking go after it. And that's why I'm passionate, because I was there, and I've had people support and build me up, and I'm here to help other people do the same and make their journey even better and brighter so they could shine their true light with the world.
Right. It's funny. One of our greatest debates, and it wasn't really a debate, was that comment. It was like, "Oh no, you're worthy of it all." I'm like, "No." And the best was like, I would go on this like long ass thing. He was like, "100% right, and you're worthy of it." And I'm like, "Oh my God, please stop saying that." Right? Like, just stop after that part. Right? Like, yeah, no, that's 100% right. And you're worthy. I'm like, oh, right? Like I was just sitting there. I'm like, I think this guy is literally just trying to see if I get mad, right? Like, and I'm like, no, listen though, what I'm saying is, and he's like, no, I hear you, and it's 100% correct, Michael, and you're worthy of all of that. I'm like, oh, okay, like, it's over, right? I'm gonna go outside and chase someone down the street that's innocent.
Those were some good debates, though, right? Because we had that
awesome
mindset, and I'll be honest, for me, I didn't feel worthy for years. I felt like I constantly needed to prove myself. And The whole point, and it's funny, we act like we're disagreeing, but yet we totally agree with one another. It's because you don't need to prove yourself to be worthy for where you are here, right here and now. You're good. You're here. And what I mean is like the crap that has happened in your past, the mistakes you made, the guilt, the shame, all that. Okay, so what? Let's learn and grow from that. You're still worthy no matter what. And I used to let that stuff drag me down and make me feel like a bucket of shit. And there I go. I was the first one to go for it. Right? You're welcome. There you are. And, and I felt horrible. So, well, let's turn that around. I had to work at that and change that language around the narrative I was sharing to say, no, what, I am worthy. And I had to really do a lot of some inner work and healing to go, you know what, I love me for me. I am worthy. I'm capable being right here and now to be, a 6-figure entrepreneur or 7-figure entrepreneur, or to be that father you want to be, or whatever you're trying to go for. Sure, we might have to learn and grow, right? I was not the person I am today a day ago, a year ago, whatever. I had to learn and work to become this person. I was capable of it, but I was enough a year ago. I was enough yesterday. I'm enough today. Tomorrow, I'm enough. And our mindset, the inner critic, likes to bring us down and belittle us, saying, I don't know, look at those mistakes you made. Or, oh, but you're not there. Look at the future. And you start building up this anxiety, the stress over that. Whoa, hold on. We'll get there. You're capable of it. But first, let's get down to the facts. Right here now, you are worthy. You are enough.
All right. Love that. I'm not going to argue with you tonight. This is your spotlight. No, I'm kidding.
He's like, I disagree.
All of this. All right. What the hell are we talking about now? Listen, I'm not a big fluff guy, right? So this isn't going to be just like puffing your pillows, all right? You want me to fluff your pillows? All right. That was a good Tommy Boy reference, if you were wondering. This isn't going to be that, right? So
an extended drink of water as you just bury yourself.
You're welcome. I just keep digging too. I never know when to stop digging.
Hit water.
Right, or China, one or the other. All right. So there's people in the room. Jesse Marks is here, by the way. What's up, Jesse? I think I said hi to everybody else that said something. Anyone that has any questions from audience or backstage or anything, put them in. We'll gladly talk about them and go over them. Jesse Marks says something about imposter syndrome. All right. So what is your take, not on imposter syndrome, but what is your take on someone feeling or experiencing that they can do to conquer that or get through or go past?
Yeah. It's something everybody feels who's trying to go for more. And especially for entrepreneurs and leaders, we try to grow, to level up, to get to wherever we want to go, right? Which is usually not where we are here, because we're going there. And with that comes that imposter syndrome, because we look around like, oh my gosh, these people where we're trying to go, they have all their stuff together. They know all this. And who am I to be doing that? All right, we get it. So first of all, no, you're not alone. You're not the only one feeling that. I've felt it many, many times. Heck, I felt it just last week. Michael and I have had many conversations about it, and there's many people who do. But the ways to overcome that is, first of all, no, you're not alone, right? A lot of people feel and experience that. Even high-level CEOs and companies, presidents of companies feel that, of 8-figure, 9, 10-figure companies. But the thing, to help you overcome that is to think of all the things you've learned so far in that journey, of all the stuff you've learned and the things you have done already. Look at the past accomplishments you have had in your life. Okay, so maybe it wasn't something else, or maybe it wasn't as big as where you want it to be. Okay, cool. We build on those small things and we keep seeing that success over and over again. Oh, I built on this. Oh, I've done this. Oh, I've done this. Okay, cool. I am here. And we keep learning and growing so that we build that belief in ourselves and that knowledge of saying, hey, I've done this. I've conquered this. I've struggled with this before, or this was something new. And look, I've conquered it. I've overcame it, or I'm still learning and I'm working and I'm growing through this. If you have that growth mindset, nothing's going to stop you. It might slow you down a little bit because you have to learn to figure it out, but you can overcome it. So as far as the imposter syndrome, it's going, okay, look at all the wins I've had before. Cool. I know I can do this. Let's go after it and know that I am worthy to be right here, right now, to be where I'm at. And I'm just going to shine my light. Just be your true, authentic self with it. And if you're nervous, okay, you're nervous. That's okay. But continue to let it shine. Don't let that dampen your light by any means.
Right. I love that. One of the things that I think about often is that typically we view or judge ourselves by who we were
Mm,
and not who we are. And who we were, sure, maybe wouldn't be in this position, but who we are now is, right? Um, I was about to speak at one event, and there was this, nerdy psychologist on there, like my mom. It wasn't my mom, but it was like her. And they were talking about how imposter syndrome is a lack of imagination, right? It's lack of creativity because we stay where we've known, where we know, rather than seeing where we are and who
mm,
we're becoming or where we're going, right? And it's like we're always focused on the past us and holding that against us rather than being focused on the person we're becoming, right? Because this moment we are different than the beginning of this conversation. Like this very moment, we've already had growth, we've already had different understanding, we already had enlightenment just in this simple conversation that's been going on for 15 minutes. Feels like much longer. Listen to this guy. No, okay. So it's like just that.
true. It's true.
Right? Just that simple thing. We already are better. We already are different. We already change already. Right. So we're judging ourselves on who we were and not who we are now. Who we are now is capable of this and worthy of this, right? Who we were might not have been. We're not that person anymore. So I don't have to worry about that. Stop judging yourself for who you were and what you did previously to the person you are now.
Right.
Right. And that even means
like,
yesterday.
right. It's like that idea of, okay, you have to leave or kill your past self to be here. Right. Because again, a feeling not worthy, it's because we're going back to our old self, our old versions of us. Well, okay, we got to let them go and release that to be here right now. And I love the idea and that mindset and even the scientific approach of saying, okay, well, lack of a creativity or imagination, because look where you're going, look where you're here now and where you want to go, right? The past is great. Like look in the rearview mirror to see the growth, to see how far you've come, the lessons learned, but then get your eyes going right here in the present moment and forward, because that's where we're going. Let's learn from the past and let's keep moving forward.
Right. It's like your brain locks in on a certain part of your life and be like, this is you for always. And you have to just kill that version of you is dead.
Right. Because it's
Right?
not here. It's already dead.
Right.
You just have to
Yeah.
accept that it's dead.
See ya. Right. It's out of here. It's like a home run. I had to throw in a baseball reference because I'm missing the Mets game. And if they lose to the Nationals again, I swear to God, Javi's tires are going to go missing. Did I say that on here? Dang, it's recorded. Hopefully, anybody that really wants to get Javi and have him think it's me, go take his tires. All right. Question came from Marion, the back end. How do you sustain your energy? I thought this was a great question for you. I think she teed it up for you because she knows you a little bit.
She might have.
How do you sustain your energy when you are aware it's being drained by others?
We love that question. So thank you for teeing that up, Mary. I appreciate that. How do you sustain your energy when it's being drained by others? So those freaking energy vampires, they suck. The people that are draining our energy. Now, a quick little extra tip. Energy vampires aren't just people. We often relate them to people, but they could also be organizations, groups, teams, things that we're part of. And the sneaky little ones that we don't think of, the energy vampires are our thoughts and the words we say to ourselves and the stories we share with others. So watch out for those energy vampires. But we're surrounded by them and they're draining our energy a lot of time unknowingly. And then sometimes we know that they're doing it, right? And other things are draining our energy. Sometimes we intentionally give it, right? If we're giving to an organization or group or volunteering, it's draining our energy to an extent, but it's also filling us. So you got to find that balance. Try to stay on focus on point. So I apologize. But how do you sustain your energy? Well, a couple things. First, you want to make sure you're taking time for you and pouring into your cup, right? Self-care is not selfish, right? That's saying taking that time for you, intentionally scheduling it in your day, just like, oh yeah, I'm going to go for a massage one day, or I'm going to go for a walk, or I'm going to work out. Cool, but actually schedule it. Put that into your day, into your schedule to take that time for you to invest in you. And yeah, I just named some super common ones that people do. They work out, they do breath work, they meditate, they just take a little break for themselves. Cool. But there's so many other ways for self-care. Allegra is amazing at this, right? She teaches people how to love themselves and how to have that self-care. And that's something I still work at, is making time for me. So how do I sustain my energy? By intentionally taking time for me, to fill my cup, to do the things that pour into me, having my morning routine, right? So for me, After I brush my teeth, I go downstairs. I work out at home. So I go downstairs, I journal, I write my affirmations, I write my gratitudes, I work out, I meditate. Boom. That's my morning routine. And that fills my cup. And then throughout the day, I intentionally have things that pour into my cup. So I continually, or throughout the day, have things and people and all the energy from the world, making sure that I curated it so it's pouring into me, so I can continue shining. The other side of that is, how do you sustain your energy when it's being drained? Stop the draining, right? Stop the bloodsuckers from draining your energy away. Right? You think about an analogy of a dam, right? If a dam has a whole bunch of holes in it, no matter how much you're pouring into it, it's going to be leaking out. So is it ever going to be full? No, because it's constantly being drained. So you have to plug those holes. You have to stop that. So in terms of energy, well, you got to manage those energy vampires in your life. That's one thing we really talk and dive into in our energy recharge event that we hold. We're doing one in New York in September. We had one in Delaware in January. But to give you a quick summary, you need to identify the energy vampires in your life and then go, okay, cool, these are the energy vampires. How can I vanquish them? How can I get rid of them? And maybe that's totally cutting them from your life, or leaving that group, or not having that thing, or if the words or thoughts you're saying, okay, recognizing it, being aware of that, and then turning it around, or limiting it, right? There's some people in our life, we can't just be like, sayonara, I'm out of here. So we got to intentionally schedule and limit our time around them. So, okay, I'm only around that person for an hour. I'm good, right? I have an exit strategy. I'm out after that, right? So that you are making sure that they're not draining you more than needed. So kind of a two-part answer, making sure you take time to fill your cup and then eliminate those energy vampires when you can.
Love that. Jeff Purdue Atkins in the house. He said, so important to put into your schedule. Daniela Roman said hello. And she said, if we don't take time for ourselves mentally and physically, we can't be good for anyone else. A couple of things that I love what you're saying. You made me think of things, right? And I'm like, oh, yeah, right? Like, and thank God I was muted, so you couldn't hear half the stuff. I was like, ooh, and I couldn't hear it. So I was glad it would have ruined your moment. Another thing, too, is like, first, everybody shouldn't be entitled to your energy no matter where they are. Right. Like, I always say, like, I only respond to people that are saying that, kind of say slick things to me if I feel like their character is above mine. Right. Like, if I feel like it's below mine, I'm like, pfft. Right. Like, go sit over there. Right. Like, who cares what you say? Right. Like, I don't. Right. It's because to me, you're not bringing that value into my life for you to be valued like that in my life. Right. And I think that's something we have to remember. Like, if they're not bringing that value to our life, they shouldn't hold that value in our life. Right. So Spencer's like, I disagree. Right. He's about to make a whole post about this. I'll be like, damn it, you could have quoted me. No. That's one thing. It's like, if we can't let everyone tap into our soul, right? Because there are people out there that don't give a damn about your soul, right? And they don't care how much they wreck it, destroy it, piss on it, right? Like any other terms. Could have left that one out. And they don't care about what they do, right? They don't care about how you feel after it. They're just going to do their thing, and they're going to go do it. And so everybody can't have that key to that part of you. The other thing is the ones that are associated in your life that are going to be in your life. One, again, they don't have to get that piece of you, but also if you do let them in, or they do go through that barricades that you have set up for them, know this: before you're going to meet with them, prep yourself. All right, like it's like before we go speak on stage, like we prep ourselves, right? Like prep your state, prep your mental. Like, I know this is about to happen. I know I'm about to see this person. I know this could go on, right? Like, they can do this. That's what they believe. That doesn't make it truth, right? It just makes it a belief of theirs, right? So we have to be willing to say, yeah, I'm about to see this person. We've had some weird run-ins. They believe this. That's not my truth, right? So go ahead and believe your shit. I'm going to stay over here, right? And then know that after that, have something in place for self-care. Don't just be like, now I need some. Prepare and schedule it. Hey, I'm going to have this meeting at 1:00. I know how this person goes in this meeting, right? So 2:30 I have scheduled, right, for whatever, right? Shoot hoops, fish off a dock, get your feet rubbed, whatever the hell it is you like, right? Have a bottle, have a glass, have a bottle, have whatever, right? Have some nice water, like whatever it is, right? Like go do your thing that speaks to you and heals you, right? So automatically right after that level starts going down, you're moving it back up, right?
So you're bookending that situation when you know that that
Jesus.
person or things are there, right? You're
Jose's
bookending.
going to charge us. He left already. He's not here. Don't worry. That
Right.
guy came, hit us with a couple of quick one-liners, bounced. Right.
Wow. But you're preparing before, and then you're setting yourself for success afterwards by going, I'm going to make sure that I'm pouring into myself. Because you're right, there are people who don't care about you, your energy, or what they just want what they want. The hard part for me is, and I'll be totally open, is I really strive to not judge others, which is extremely hard because I was raised judging people left and right, and I still do, and I still struggle with it. I do my best not to. And then to respond with love. But the thing that a lot of people get confused with the whole responding with love thing is that love might be, I'm limiting my time with you, or I'm cutting you from my life because you're not helping me be at my best, and I'm not helping you be at your best. Sure, you might just be complaining and using me as this whipping post. I'm glad I can make you feel better, but I don't need that in my life. I'm going to set this boundary and I'm going to hold firm to it because that's going to serve me and my people better, my family, so I could be at my best. That's a huge difference.
One of the biggest things to me, responding out of love, sometimes is silence.
One of the biggest
sometimes
ways,
is not responding, right? Because if I do have a response, it's not going to be out of love for you, right? Might be out of love for me and my sarcastic ways, right? Or what I believe or hold dear to me. It might be out of love for that, but it won't be out of love for you. So sometimes silence is me responding out of love because I'm not going to say the shit that I really have inside me to say.
Well, and one of the things that have really changed my life is to have that group of people, that inner circle around me of who people can help check me and just make sure, okay, I'm taking that time to pour into me. Or, oh, this person really pissed me off, or I know I'm struggling with this. Hey, can you check me? I'm not sure this is the right way to respond. You did that for me this morning. Because I was lit up this morning and I was judging and I did not want to respond with love as much as I tried to. It was really hard. And I'm like, hold on, let me check with my brother Mike and see about this because he's going to help bring me back and make sure that I respond with love. So who do you have in your life? Or maybe you don't have anyone currently. Who can you bring in to add to your inner circle? It doesn't have to be huge. It shouldn't be. It should honestly be like 1 to maybe 5 people that you have within your inner circle that you can lean on. You can be totally open and honest and with, and then you have a little other circles, right? And those people, they can flux, they can come in and out of your life at times, right? There's people who are on the journey with you at some points and they separate. That's beautiful. It's part of this journey. And it's sometimes hard to accept it, but that's all part of our journey. So I got off on a side tangent, but remember to have those people in your life to keep you in check, like Mike did for me this morning. And we both have other people who help, like, hold on, let me check about this, so that I'm staying in my best self and my best version of me so I can shine my true light.
Right. You think I post a lot on Facebook?
No, you never post anything on Facebook ever. I maybe once or twice or 40 times a day. It's one or the other.
I'm trying to get there. You want to know something great about that is that most of my posts I have to send through the team to be approved for me to post because it's not coming out of a place of too much smart ass or smart aleck or a place of not love, right? And I had a great one I thought was going to be a hit, and it got declined. And I was like, damn. And it was so good. But you need those people in your life, 100%. Jesse says it. She says they call them your 3 a.m. friends.
Nice.
Your anytime friends, but 100%. Also got to say hello to David Verbrax in the house. What's up, Dave?
Yeah.
New Beginnings in the house. Colorado represented. Like I said, everything about his life. He's a righty. He likes cigars and long walks on the boardwalk. Right? Like,
I hope there's a lot more to Dave. Actually, I know there's a lot more to Dave than that. So we'll say you're giving the highlight reel. Does that work?
Listen, I'm not sitting on him in a hot tub. I promise you that. The where's Bobby Jones when you need him? I almost spit that water out. You're welcome. Um, things that happen. So I love that. By the way, again, any questions you have for him, feel free to get them in. This is where we put Spencer and what he does at front and center on this. It's not like just give me the nice speech you have about energy and what you do, the Prince of Positivity, serving well, right? We're going to get into nitty and gritty here. Like we're going to get into real shit, real stuff, and things that really happens to people, right? So I have one for you.
Yeah.
We're going to love this. I'm sure you'll curse me out after.
You never know.
Right. Don't worry. I'll have a small cigar and a glass of whiskey thinking about you. Okay. But when you're sitting there in that place where you're just in your head and you're just belittling yourself and tearing yourself down, and it's not even like just if the outside noise happens, the inside noise is so loud no matter what the outside noise said. And you're really going to beat downtown, right? And I just thought of that myself. And I probably should quote a book. Someone probably said that somewhere. And
source it.
Yeah, I gotta source your shit. How do you stop yourself from doing that, which is hard, and then even harder, get yourself from doing that to bring yourself back up to the state and energy that you know you deserve and to live your life the way you want?
That's a fabulous question, and a trickier one to answer. So I appreciate going into the nitty gritty and going into to that, because it's something I struggled with and I still struggle with. Right. So I've been really working at this healing journey to work through my mindset. So those inner demons, the inner critic, whatever, all that bullshit happening inside, belittling you, been going on for my whole life, really. And certain things that happen in our life just amplify it, and it just keeps coming back. And through the work, through the journey, I'll give people hope, at least, that as you go on it, the good news is that that voice, that weight, that whatever you want to call it, comes back less often, and it comes back not as strong. So it gets less severe and less often. But there's times that it peaks, right? It's this journey of the highs and lows, right? I think of valleys and summits and the ways in between. So I'll be totally upfront. So just 3 weeks ago, something like that, I hit a freaking low. Like I hit a low harder than I've hit a low in a long, long time. My inner critic was going to town, just ripping me new ones. It didn't matter what happened on the outside. It didn't matter if I made a sale. It didn't matter if I landed these clients. Nothing mattered. That people could shower me with compliments. It didn't matter in my mind, because all I was listening to was the bullshit that I was telling myself, that I was unworthy, that I needed to prove myself. Who am I? I was making that past version of myself come back to life and just be like, this is who you are. I was taking all those labels that would be attached and throwing them on myself and just ripping me to shreds. The good news is I have strategies that help, right? So some of these strategies, I'll just lay out a couple of them that I did. Listening to music that uplifts me. Some of it will be angry music or whatever you want to call it when you're mad, like the stuff you listen to help vent and get it out. That's what I do that. And then also uplifting positive music to help move past it. Stuff that gets me moving and grooving and just feel good feeling music. Journaling helps. So I could get it out of my head onto a piece of paper, not just digitally, but physically writing it down and sharing it, just getting it out of my head. Those are two ways to help. Meditation's been a huge help for me, where I'll do guided meditations and self-guided ones to help pull myself out of it, to like I mentally go through this whole visualization where I imagine that previous self or the things I'm reminding myself of, and I'll dissect it like I'm a scientist, try to do it in a way that I'm detached emotionally as much as I can from it, and see, okay, what are the lessons here? What can I do? How can I learn and grow from this? And then I visualize letting it go, literally like sitting on the ground, turning my back to it, walking away, or having like holding it out from my body and letting rain come down and wash it away, or wind blowing it away. Like do these different visualizations, and all that helps to a degree. Sometimes one works better than another. Sometimes I need all of them. And to be in the funk I was in, this lowest of lows, that, well, it wasn't the lowest, it wasn't my rock bottom, but it was closer than I've been in a long time. Those things helped, but only a little bit. The two things that really helped me with it, one is not just journaling it, but talking to people, sharing it, like, yo guys, I'm talking to my inner circle, like I'm in the shit, I'm struggling, I don't know, and just talk. And sometimes that talk is venting, getting it out, just sharing it. And because when you verbalize it, it's even more amplified than just writing it down. Writing it down is more than keeping it in your head, right? Or just thinking it. But when you verbalize it, you're thinking about it, you're saying it, you hear yourself saying it, you feel the vibrations through your body, and you're getting it out. And then the people you're talking with can pour love and light into you, and you're more able to receive it than if it was just through a message, right? But I also get that there's times when you share that, and if you're not able to be, live on Zoom or on, Messenger video or whatever, that sometimes it's just irritating when someone messages you and tries to like, hey, how are you doing? Are you doing good? Or says, I'm like, just fuck off. Like, I'm good. I don't need this right now. Right. I mean, so it can be difficult at that time, but if I could be open and be like, okay, just breathe, listen to it, allow that in, reflect, meditate, have those conversations with the trusted people. And I'm talking trusted, your inner circle, right? Your tightest, most tight-knit circle. And the other thing that is honestly sleep. Sometimes I'll just go to bed and be like, you know what? I need a break. I need to just sleep this off and see how it's going. And a lot of the time for me, like I've done the work throughout the day, but then by the next day, I usually feel better to a degree, right? I feel maybe it's totally gone. I feel 100% better. But for that time, I didn't. I felt better, right? If I was at like let's say I was 100% my whole self being complete, I was maybe at a 20 that day, right? As opposed to like when I've been like -20, -30, -50s. I was maybe at a 20. Well, the next day I was probably at a 60. So cool, I was better, but I still wasn't at my max. So what can I do? Well, I could do the same things, right? I worked out, I journaled, I did things that helped push me, motivate me. I intentionally did things that poured into my cup, be really freaking intentional about, okay, I'm doing these things because it's good for me. And also, like, for some of the things that was getting me down are things that are in my control. I look at, okay, what is in my control right here and now, right? I've forgiven myself. Let's keep forgiving. Let's keep doing these things. What can I change right here and now to help me pull myself out of this? So for me, it's like, okay, look at my schedule, look at my to-do list. I could do this. I could do that. All right, I'm going to focus at this thing. And that's, I'm going to look at the huge list. I'm just going to focus on one thing. Let's complete that. Let's do something small. Get those wins in, get the small win, get the next one, get the next one, get the next one, and really build it up. And that helped pull me up. And then having those conversations with the inner circle, all this stuff pulled me out. So for me, it was about 2.5 days. I haven't had that long of a low in a long time. But all of those things combined help pull me out of it. I hope that helps. And each person's different. What works for you, you have to try and experiment and see what the best fit is. But those are just some of the strategies I use to really help me pull me out of that crap. So hopefully that answered it. It was a long one.
No, I liked it. That was awesome. Also, I wanted to show you that my mom was here.
Thank you. Hello, Dr. Vinny. Great to have you.
People gave you praise in the chat. People gave you praise in the backstage. So it must have been good.
I'm glad you're listening, so that's good. I appreciate it. There.
What happened? I woke up. No, good. No, it's awesome. It was perfect. Like it literally. I just got it. Said, there you go. Boom. So that was awesome. I appreciate it. That's so big, and numerous times in our couple of years of running together, you have done that for me. Have been the earpiece or the loudspeaker. It's like, so sometimes you need to be an ear, sometimes you need to be a voice, right?
Right. And you've been there for me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate that. But I just wanted to let everyone know that you practice what you preach, that you're not just somebody up here just spewing shit. You actually you do what you say. So that's awesome.
Right.
So
goes back to the why, right? I've been in the shit. I've been in
Yeah.
that low. I know how shitty it is, how crappy how it feels, and you don't have to feel that way. And that's the best part. You don't have to. You don't have to feel unworthy, feel like crap, feel belittled. You can feel freaking amazing, alive, focused, energized. You are capable of it. So let's make it happen.
My mom said I love you, Spencer. She didn't say I love you to me. She did say I love you to you.
Well, thank you. I love you too, Vinny. Thank you very much.
Me and my mom's relationship, it's special.
It's been a good day for me. Beautiful day. Look at this. I think that's the third win of the day.
Right? God, winning. So I want to get to some things that you do, like that you're part of different ways, rather than sitting here and hearing a couple of great answers and being like, wow, that actually really helped me. Yeah, like we used to do this with events, right? Like what we talked about, like you would go to an event in 3 days, you'd be like, yo, I'm ready to run to the wall right now. Like I'm going to smash through this wall and go out the other side and champion, right? And then like you get to the wall and you're like, where the hell do I go now? Like, what do I do now? Like, that was awesome. I'll do this wall. What the hell happens, right? I thought this was it. Now I'm just stuck on the other side of the wall. I'm going to walk back to where I know and go back through the hole on the other side of the wall, right? Because we're creatures of habit. So like, get me back in there, right? So I don't think like a 1 hour call with you is enough, right? I don't think like, no offense to your lives, they're great. I don't think they're enough. I don't think the challenges you do that you do some that are absolutely free, some that are not. I don't think they're enough. I think they're steps. I think they're pieces, right? So one, tell about this weekend. You have a virtual wellness retreat. I know because I bought a ticket, right? Because I'm like, wellness, I need this. And they're like, virtual. I'm like, well, that's easy, right? And it's like, all right, cool. Like, make a commitment, put skin in the game, buy a ticket, right? So tell everybody like what it's about, what to expect, and can they still get in or not, and what they'll get from it.
Yeah, so I'm really, really excited for a virtual wellness retreat that's happening this weekend, Friday through Sunday, because it's just not your typical wellness retreat. We really try focusing on the whole health of a person, right? So, I mean, you heard me talk about, making me laugh now. Jeez, brother.
Sorry. I put my drink out when you said it. I'm sorry, that was good.
So, yeah, it's been a beautiful day. So we focus on the whole part of you. You've heard me talk about mindset a lot today. So hushing that inner critic, and it's wellness is not just fitness or health, which that's a big part of it. And I have this huge fitness journey, right? I've done some crazy fitness things, cool things in my opinion, and that's great. But there's so much more to it. I mean, that's what this weekend's all about, is bringing all these different components. So we have some amazing people coming and see, yeah, I know my stuff, but I also know some amazing people who are experts in their field who can pour love, energy, and wisdom into you. Right. So like, for example, we have Mary coming in there and teaching creativity and coloring. So we have Allegra coming in, not leading a Zumba class. So, I'll be honest, Allegra, I've never done Zumba. I've never done this. This is going to be the first time people are going to see me flail and be crazy, right? It's going to be awesome. I'm going to try something new, right? And do these dance moves. And then I heard you cue it like baseball pitchers. I just don't know. It's going to be, I can't wait. Right. But also leading us in a loving yourself session. We have Michelle. We got a lot of amazing Unleash You Now people in there teaching and showing. We have energizers in there sharing their wisdom. Why? Because they're experts in their subject matter and those topics that they can pour love and light into you. And it's mental wellness, taking care of your mental health so that you can have less stress. You can feel alive, focused, energized. And then we also tie in the typical wellness of your fitness. Great. We have some movement. We have some stretching, things that you can modify and make it work for you wherever you're at in your journey. We've had some people who be like, that's just not me. Okay, cool. Then you don't have to, right? But we have people who join us there and we talk about gut health because nutrition's huge. We have this vessel, right? This vessel carrying us through this human journey. Let's make sure it's at its best so we can live our life to the max, whatever that looks like for you. So that includes your physical wellness, the nutrition stuff you're eating, your mental wellness, and your greater purpose, how you're giving back to the world. So that's what we cover in this virtual wellness retreat. And I love it because it's relatable experts. There are people like the people I mentioned, Michelle, Mary, Allegra, Kelly, and so many more who are there that you'd be like, oh my God, I loved what Kelly said. This was so incredible, so impactful. I'm going to reach out to her, and you can have a like Zoom call with her and learn right one-on-one. Like you can't do that with Tony Robbins. You can't do that with Matthew McConaughey or all these other people. They're great, but you can't hop on a Zoom call with them, right? And have like a one-on-one conversation. So we try bringing relatable experts right to your doorstep, and in this case, literally into your living room, so you can be there, learn from them, and connect with them.
I tried. I got arrested for it. So I don't recommend it to anybody. Don't try to jump on the Zoom of Tony Robbins. He gets very sensitive about it. Dude, let me tell you, I was so excited when I saw the event and like who was in it and what was being done in it. I was just like, so it's gonna be the first time in like 10 years I do Zumba, right? I'm excited to color. I'm gonna do all kinds of crazy shit, but I know at the end of it, I'm gonna feel good. And you know, there's not too much. Like, is there ever like, man, I feel too good for too long? I never heard someone say that. So,
right. Well, not only do you feel good, you have the tools to keep feeling good, continual, right? And that's the cool thing. We give you
wait, there's more.
Right, there's more. I mean, okay, so here, I'll let the cat out of the bag. The way we structure our business, the way we really help and serve people to feel alive, focused, energized, get that breath of fresh air, is we give you these jolts of energy through these events, right? Whether it's the virtual wellness retreat, whether it's our meditation experience, our Romania trip, or all the other ones that we do, right? And different lengths of time and different focuses, but they give you the jolt of energy. But then we have the Jones and Four Academy, which these ladies that I mentioned who are speaking at this weekend, they have trainings and courses in there. So now you have the constant access to that. It's because, you know, when are you going to struggle with imposter syndrome, for example? Well, okay, not always. But when I start to feel, boom, I could go into that training and course and I can learn and I could take it from this. Oh, I want to start meditating. I've never done that before. Cool. You take meditation 101, right? We have that for you. And then you can tie in all these other experiences to help you on your journey and really continue to level up, because it's a journey. It's filled with highs and lows. And so we try to helping you as best as we can through those different obstacles that you're going to face, that we know you're going to face, because we have all faced them at different times in our lives. So we can help share with you what we've learned by shining the light on the next step. You have to do the work, right? We can't do it for you, but we can guide you and support you and encourage you on that journey.
Facts upon facts. So we have another question. I got Michael Martin. Hushing my critic is my hardest part.
It is, right? It's freaking hard. So Michael, you're not alone. You're not alone in hushing that inner critic, right? Inner critic, Sean Douglas calls it your inner bully, right? Think about that, like it just beating you up, right? Your critic, I always think of like, I'm a musician by trade, a professionally trained pianist and choir director. So I think critics of like person just writing or talking about you, I'm like, yeah, you jerk, because that's what they do. They talk. But I also like the bully idea because it's beating you up, right? And that's what it feels like inside a critic. Okay, words are words, but man, it feels like I'm getting beaten up when that critic, that bully starts going to town and belittling me, making me feel small, worthless, weak, insignificant, whatever. So you're not alone. So how do you hush it? Gosh, there's so many things and strategies you can do. And I've tried many, and we've talked about some already. One thing I did not mention in regard to this that can help you hush your inner critic. It's not a magic pill. There's really no magic pill with this. It takes some time, takes some effort, but this is one of the things that has really helped me accelerate this is remember the good things you have done. Remember the successes, the wins you have had, and the things you've overcome. So when your inner critic starts to go to town, you're like, oh, hold on. I've had this one. I've had this one. So you can be like, oh, see, my life doesn't all suck. I didn't make all these mistakes or whatever it's beating you up. I'm like, look, I've had these wins. The other thing that's really accelerated it is I asked myself a question. Is it true? Is what it's saying really true? A lot of the time it's not. A lot of time it's just blowing something up bigger. And you're like, well, hold on. It really wasn't this big. It was this. And maybe it wasn't even related, or it was a lot smaller than your critic is blowing it up to be. So ask yourself, is it true? Now, if I'm going to be open and honest and clear, when I'm really in my funk and I ask myself, is it true? I go, yeah, it is true. I do suck. Blah, 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 blah. And I have to stop myself. When that happens, I need to be aware and be like, hold on. It's not that big, right? Yes, but that was a previous self. We have to let it go. Stop trying to revive that dead person who's now no longer here, who's no longer serving us. Those thoughts, those beliefs, they're not serving you. So I do my best, again, through all the stuff we talked about before, meditating and having people speak into me and looking for the growth in it. Say, okay, I have this. I have the lessons. I've learned from this. Let's take these lessons and move forward. Let's look at the wins I've had, look at the lessons I've gained. Let's see how true it is, and then move forward. And it takes time. And sometimes we need people to remind us, right? Your inner circle to remind you of those wins, of those successes. I've had many people do in my life, Michael being one of them, who's pointing out, like, hold on, Spencer, right? 30-year business. Let's be real. Let's focus on this. So hopefully that helps, Michael.
Yeah. I love when someone has the same name. I was
It's easier with Spencer. I've only met a few.
Right. It started downhill for me, and we're like, "You're not alone in there, Michael." I was like, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then you just kept going. And it was just like getting better and better, and I was just like, "Oh god!"
I enjoyed freaking you out. I saw the eyes twitching.
I was like, "I'm going to have to sign off here." I'm just laughing, and I can't stop. And then everything you say just made it better and better. Michael did say thank you. So that's awesome. Right. There's a couple of things. One of the things I heard this, I forget where I heard this from, but I was like, oh my God, like this is so good. I think we all wait to be like, well, when we're qualified, we'll know. So we just got to keep doing things because then we'll be qualified to do this. And it's just like, what if, whatever you believe, the universe, God, tree, dirt, like I don't give a shit. Remember, like I say every time, like I don't care what you believe. Like at the end, you're going to answer that to somebody, whoever that is, whatever that is, cool, right? Like you might be right, you might not be. Like we're all going to have to find out for ourselves. All right. What if we're all right? They're all just sitting there. Like you can pick what door. You can pick the golden gate or the golden door or the golden wall, right? Like or the golden goose, right? Or the golden egg. I don't give a fuck, right? Like whatever, or the holy grail, or whatever the hell it is, right? It's gold. We know that. That's how much we know, right? And what if you get there and it's like, hey, now you get to pick where you enter. Like, oh shit, right? Can I dabble, right? Like, can I do a day at each and see, right? No, but it's like we wait for this thing that we don't know to say that, hey, now you're ready. It's like, oh, thank you. It has spoke to me and said I'm ready. But if whatever you believe, I don't care if you believe like you go and you become the soil for the tree to grow, for them to print a Bible on. Like I don't give a damn, right? And that was a Dan Cook reference. I don't want to get in trouble for quoting somebody and not quoting them.
Good job, source.
Thank you. Yeah, source the hell out of that thing. But we're like, what if they qualified the called? You being called to it says that you're qualified for it. You don't have to be qualified to then get the call. They called the qualified, like that you're called to it. Your heart pours for it, like your soul goes to it. That's the qualification, right? Like that's it, right? Like that's all it takes is that you having that energy or that feeling or that thrust to do it. That's the qualification, right? It's just that you're willing to take the step. Right. And what we learned through this journey is that the more you go through it, the more qualified you get. Right. It's like we can't know what we can withstand until we go withstand something. All right. And then this magical thing happens. We withstand it. It's crazy. We're not as fragile as we think. Right. It's like before you got hit the first time. I don't know about anybody else or if you guys ever got hit. But before I got hit, I was like, man, one punch might kill me. Right? Like I was so scared of getting hit. I was like, oh my God, this guy's going to hit me. I'm just going to be like, and just fall over. Right. And be the first person to ever die from a fight. All right. And probably not the first, but, and then you get hit. Right. And you're like, it wasn't that bad. Right. And you're like, I didn't die. Right. Like, this isn't that bad. I didn't break. I didn't fall into a million pieces on the ground. Like, this isn't that bad. And all of a sudden, that whole fear that was holding you back is over. Right. And now you're like, bet. Right? Like, let's do this, sucker. And I was so glad that my brother decided to sucker punch me in the face. And I learned young that I wasn't going to get, no, I'm kidding, that you didn't die from a punch. But the idea is like, if we wait, we'll never be.
Right.
Right? Like, I don't care if you want to be the healthiest person, you want to play in the NBA, you want to have $1 million in your bank account, I think that's weird, right? Like if you have $1 million in your bank account, go invest. So it's funny. Someone's like, I think you're only a millionaire if you have $1 million in your bank account. I'm like, let me tell you what most millionaires don't have, right? Is $1 million in a bank account because they're investing in it to try to make more money. But I digress. But I think it's like, if we don't take that step to get $1, we'll never have 10. And if we never have 10, we don't have 100. If we don't have 100, we don't have 1,000. The thing goes up. If you never take that step to see what you can do, you'll never know. Right. And then we live that whole thing with regret.
And I don't know about you, but living a life of regret sucks. And I don't want to be on my deathbed with regrets, or we'll just say with as few regrets as possible.
Waiting to be qualified.
Right? Like, oh, I'm finally qualified. Good. Here I'm on my deathbed. I'm finally qualified to share my story. I'm finally qualified to take this trip. I'm finally qualified to shine my light now that I have a breath left. Or the people who never take the step and then they pass away quickly for an accident or whatever happens. Well, okay, well, they didn't take their shot, so now they're out of it. Like, stop letting fear hold you back from your goals, from the dreams, the things you want to achieve. Take that leap of faith. Go for it. Yes, be calculated, right? Make the plans, and get the roadmap there. Be willing to pivot as needed, because you're going to have to pivot, guaranteed. But take that leap of faith, go for it. And then surround yourself with people who are there to encourage you and help you and be your bumpers on your journey. So if you discover your purpose, your vision, your goals and all that, and then your priorities, you got this freaking awesome idea of where you're going and almost roadmap, right? Okay, here's my destination. Now, cool, that's how can we get there? And then you have your inner circle. I always like thinking of as bumpers to be like, oh, yep, we're making sure we're staying within those priorities, staying within that, responding with love, tying it back to what we talked about earlier, right? And just helping you be at your best and staying on track. It's freaking dynamite, and it's going to accelerate your journey 1,000-fold. Because for years I didn't have that. For years I thought I had some people in my life, but it was taking me all over the wrong different places because I didn't know who I was, where I was going, why I was here, any of that. And I just got led into some really dark alleys that ended up hurting me and hurting a lot of people that I love and care about. And now that I made a conscious choice, and it has to be a conscious choice, to take that leap of faith to go for it and say, let me do the work. Let me see what that vision is, that my purpose, priorities, all of that. And then intentionally surround myself with amazing people who love me, support me, and encourage me, and be those bumpers. Jeez, you're going to go far. Quick. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for that.
Like real dark alleys or like figurative dark alleys, or both? No, I was like, what kind of dark alleys are we talking?
Right? It depends on the life you choose to live. It could
now
be both.
Now we're speaking my language. If I'm doing both.
It's only dark because you tried shooting at a car and hit the lamp. That's all.
Mark Cox is in the house. What's up? And Javier said, live now. One of the things I love, I'm going to make a joke about Allegra here because she's in the background, so I can. She's like, I'm going to cut you, Holmes. But she was doing an event, right? She was going to an event to sell some of her stuff that she sells. And I made that sound like really like illegal, right? But it's not. It was like the stuff she sells, right? And she was like, what if I don't sell anything? And I was like, you pick the stuff up and bring it back with you. I'm like, it's not like if you don't sell anything, they ransack your table and everything's gone, right? Like, you don't sell anything, now it goes to the people's property. It's theirs now. It's not yours. You lost all your shit, right? Like, that's not how it is, right? Like, that's not how it goes. So it's typically when someone's talking about like, should I do that? I don't know, like what, like really, whatever you think. Like, I was talking about walking, right? And they're like, well, what if I don't go far? I'm like, well, if you take one step, you went farther than not, right? Like, what if I don't finish? I'm like, what does that mean? Just stop whenever you feel like I want to go back, right? Like, there is no set number in this where you got it or you didn't get it. Like, just go do it. Like, just go try, right? I always make fun of us for our first events, right? Because I was like, I'm not speaking to enough people. We need to have events, right? And I was like, I'm going to have 500 people in this room. And like 6 showed up, 7. And it's really awkward in a room where you have so many seats and not a lot of people, and no one ever sits near each other for some odd reason. We feel like we have to go, dude, Michael Martin Hummel just said walking is overrated. He is handicapped, so it was a joke by him. So it was when he said that, I was like, got me. But it was like, and you have to ask them to come sit together, but it's like, what's the worst thing that can happen? Typically what we believe is the worst isn't really even the worst. It's not feasible that it's happening. And also it's probably not that bad. Right? Like what if I try to start a business and no one buys anything? Like no one buys anything, then you go work like you are. Right? Like nothing changed. You just tried. Right? Like it's all like it just keep going. Like take the step, right? Take the action, try it. We wouldn't be here. I never thought I was going to be a speaker. Right? And not like a Bose speaker, but like a person that speaks. Definitely not on stage. You're welcome, Spencer. My corny jokes. Definitely not on stage. Definitely not to groups of people. I never thought that. I never wanted that. That wasn't something I was seeking or I thought was for me. Right? It happened as like some kind of weird favor thing that I spoke in front of people. And then after it was where it was like, oh my God, I got to do this. Right? We don't know until we try something. We don't know until we take a step, right? Like we don't know until we have an experience. And then we can judge that experience and be like, cool. It's like when people are like, I don't know what my purpose is. I'm like, what are you interested in? They're like, well, these. I'm like, good, try them more. Right? Like, and then soon that interest is going to turn to passion. And then when you're passionate about it, you'll call it your purpose. Right? And it's just that like it's that hard and that easy. It's like that simple. But yet at the same time, it's that simple, but it takes effort, and just take the effort. And why I'm saying this, I think it's a perfect segue into you have events. What type of events are they? What are people going to gain from you, and how can they find it? How can they find information about this?
Well, thank you for asking a lead up into it. Right, take that leap of faith to invest in you, to learn, to grow, to shine your light. And yeah, it's an honor to put these events together, as we talked about earlier, being these jolts of energy on your journey. Because what I've discovered, and I know Michael's discovered this, as events like we are really intentional about going to these different events, because every time that we do, we invest in ourselves. We grow as a person, and our business grows. Our families are impacted because we have changed. So the events that we put together, we help you on this journey, feeling alive, focused, energized, to get that breath of fresh air, to I always like to say it as live your life to the max, right? To get the most out of life, to go down to your deathbed with as few regrets as possible. The virtual wellness retreat this weekend is one of those examples like we talked about, right? So you get to learn about your mental wellness, your physical wellness, and really be at your best there. We have a meditation experience where it's 3 days where you get to try a whole bunch of different types of meditation to see, because some people are like, I've never meditated before, or this is crazy, I can't sit quiet forever. Like, hold on, there's so many types of meditation. You get to experience a whole bunch of really cool ones and see what fits. Like, hey, this is awesome, I really like this aligns with me, or this works, and this one not so much. That's okay, right? Through that event, we help you find that inner peace, that inner calm within you, right? And you do some other cool things, like we go bowl singing and drum circles, and we just have an amazing time. And for the people who are struggling with imposter syndrome, who struggle with limiting beliefs, lack of confidence in themselves, well, we put together a Crush and Conquer weekend where you build that confidence in yourself, of learning how to overcome those limiting beliefs, and you overcome them in that weekend. And one of the quickest ways we've experience and learn to do that is through fitness. So yeah, that's more of a fitness weekend, but we help you overcome those limiting beliefs by having these really cool different experiences that maybe you've experienced before, maybe you haven't. So we do things like an obstacle course, jujitsu. We have the ninja course where you get to try, having fun on my backyard ninja course, pegboard, monkey bars, rope climb, parallel bars, a slack line. And just have some fun with amazing people who are rooting you on, cheering you on. That as long as you try, you will succeed. And I guarantee success in this weekend, because you are going to overcome those limiting beliefs, build that confidence. And then we have sessions that help build upon that, so that when you leave, you have the tools and strategies that already built from this incredible energy of that weekend leading forward. And then there's other events and stuff that we do just to get you energized, to have you have new experiences, because we've realized that when I just have different experiences in my life, I learn and grow and shine differently and shine my true light. So like we're going to Romania for 7 days. It's such a beautiful country, amazing people, beautiful sights. We're seeing Dracula's Castle, Palish Castle. We're spending a day at the Black Sea, going hiking in the Carpathian Mountains, all these things just to give you this really cool, unique experience from traveling, seeing a different culture, being immersed in it. And yeah, we'll have little meditations and discussions here or there throughout it, but it's really just being immersed in that experience with amazing, like-minded people, energizers, who are there to support you on this and just have a great time with family. We also do a winter yoga retreat. So, okay, we do yoga and we go skiing or snowboarding. There's no necessarily set lessons or sessions that happen outside of just the movement of yoga and stretching. It's there to give you this experience. And we've had people who were like, I've never snowboarded, I've never skied before, I haven't done it in 30 years. Great. Well, they come and they try it, and they end up loving it or realizing, okay, well, I'm going to try this a little differently this next time. Awesome. So we love giving people the opportunities to have unique and amazing experiences, whether it's just for an experience sake of being energized or something specific, like finding that inner peace, your wellness, or overcoming limiting beliefs and building confidence in yourself. We love giving people those experiences, as jolts of energy on their journey, as we give you a constant source within the Jones and Four Academy to be plugged in and help you anywhere on your journey, anytime.
That's awesome, brother. Where can people find you if they want to ask you any questions or talk to you about anything or go any further in any of this? Where can they find you?
Yeah, thank you. I forgot that part of the question. I'm so excited about all the cool stuff we do. 2 ways you can check out the website, which is spencermjones.com, spencermjones.com. And so you feel free to check that out. And then you also just hit me up on social media, right? At Jonesin4, JONESINFOR, like you're Jonesin for something. You're craving something. You're Jonesin for living your life to the max, right? So come check us out on social media. Send me a message. I'm always happy to chat and have a conversation and just to help you shine your light.
First, I want to thank everyone that stopped in on the numerous different broadcasts we have going, everyone that took the time to comment, be part of it, all the questions we got. Thank you guys so much. I want to thank Allegra for sitting around, being in the backstage, being part of the laughing and stuff. So we all knew that jokes were hitting. It's better when you can see someone, it's not just you're joking to yourself and no one else gets it. So thank you. And Mary, that was backstage for a while too. Dave Verbeck's still in the house. What's obviously beautiful, Spencer. Spencer, thank you so much for taking the time and sitting on the spotlight. It's a hot seat when the spotlight's on you. I can think of no better person to bring this back and start doing the Mastermind member spotlights with than you. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for taking the time, like I said. But the spotlight is now off you, brother. Any last words you want to leave the people with?
Oh, first of all, thank you for having me on, being the first spotlight back. I truly appreciate it. I love being able to shine my light and hopefully help inspire others. So thank you. And I'll leave everyone with this, and we'll see if Michael cringes at all. But remember these truths about you, that you are amazing, you are worthy, and you are enough just the way you are. Thank you.
Woo! Thank you guys so much for joining and partaking. We appreciate you guys. Until next time, live unleashed. Peace.